Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. Welcome into Bead with me. My name is Kate from Stars Beads. This is a little show for inspiration, motivation, and whatever is trending here in the bee life here at Stars Beads. And I'm just finding a little bag of goodness right now. And wanted to come join you guys for a beady break. You know, sometimes we get lost in the beads, as it did to me on Monday, and here we are. But we get to play a little bit. I get a little bit of time, and so I was seeing that we were getting a little closer to Valentine's Day. I was taking a look at some of the things that we had done in the past of some fun heart-shaped things. Here we had kind of gone over making these really pretty earrings here just the other week, and messing around. And so I'm thinking hearts right now. I want some tiny beads in kind of, and so I had these random bags of beads, as you can imagine. Lots of little bags of beads, and so I was kind of trying to look to see what we had here today and play around. Have a little bead therapy, hang out with you guys for a little bit, and see what we come out with. I was going through the barn, and I happened to find a box of some like really thick gauge, 16 gauge silver wire. So I was thinking about making a wire heart and seeing if we can make it, embellish it up a little bit, and see what comes out. So I'm gonna just unroll. Now this is 16 gauge. You could probably do this with a little bit finer, but you know, 16 gauge, I like the thickness. It'll hold a little bit more of the shaping, and we're gonna measure out, I don't know, we're just doing an arbitrary amount, so I'm going to do like, I don't know, I would think at least, I'm going to go long, and I'm going to do a 18 inches. 18 inches right now, 16 gauge. We'll see how much of it I need, but I hate being short, especially when we're kind of free-forming, but so, you know, yeah, that's the way it goes sometimes. So I want to make a little heart shape out of this. We're using 16 gauge wire. Welcome in, everybody. We're just messing around, maybe thinking about making a heart shape since it was Valentine's Day, as we hang out with you guys for a bit. Is it cold where you guys are right now? We got an amazing, like, 10 inches of snow here. I'm going to kind of bend this with one side a little bit longer than the other. And then we're using 16 gauge here, so need to be strong on it. It was actually rather warm here today, so that was rather nice. So we're trying to make a heart shape right now. So I'm just kind of pulling this wire. You could leave this as a loop shape. I'm going to maybe make it a little bit thinner, smaller, so we can get a really good tip. And 16 gauge is not for the week here, so that's why I say you could do this probably in an 18 gauge, but why not challenge ourselves here for a little work at Wednesday? You know, like make us work a little bit. All right, so now I'm gonna kind of do one of these. And see what we kind of come out with, okay? All right. Now we can kind of see, obviously, that's going to be the bottom. Coming in from Orlando. Ooh, how's your trip going? How's your trip going? All right, now this is where the tricky part comes in, okay? So, one, you can do this with your hands, or you can find something that's like nearby, like say a spool of wire. or something that is larger and rounder that you want to use, like a marker or something like that. I'm going to use, what do I have nearby that I'm going to use here? I'm going to try, here's a spool of wire. Use this to kind of just make a more rounded bend here. Just to kind of start my shaping here of side one. Here, I'm going to try to turn this way so we're sitting here, maybe in an opening. Okay. Now, this is a free-form heart, so your heart can look different than my heart. Okay, so you are going to have to mess around with it. You can make it bigger, smaller, you know, and kind of adjust it as you go here. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing with the other side. So if you wanted to do it with your fingers, I like to kind of have something. You have bail making pliers. You can use something like that to kind of give you. Yeah, Karen, how are you? We got all the Karens in the house. Although that's not quite as big as I would like it. I like it a little bit more rounded. So, like, grab whatever you have nearby. We're gonna, you know, take a knobby here. See how that ends up going here. Okay. Isn't that really pretty? Now I got it all hooked in there. Okay. So for me, when I kind of make my hearts, I kind of like having one a little bit bigger, one side a little bit bigger than the other, but there's going to be a little bit of chance to be able to make an adjustment. Okay, so, and you can kind of work through it, or you can keep it the same however you would like. I kind of like this bigger size, like I say. So I'm going to pull this up a little bit, pull this down. So when we kind of start wrapping, this is kind of the idea that we're going for, right? So this is when we're going to have to bend. We're going to go bending this wire to wrap it, and then we're going to make a little post to go up. Okay, and then that'll be making our little heart frame. In your room on a lot. Oh, well, I hope you sell out and make a lot of sales, give away some presents. All right, so let's see. I guess I have the short side. So I was planning on taking the short side up and freeforming this here. So, and since this is already over top, it kind of is good. Let's see, hold on. Where is... So I'm going to wire wrap this right here. Okay, so I'm upside down to kind of, and try to get this as tight as possible. And we're going to have to kind of weave this in, so make a big bend to kind of get a good wrap around here. Okay. And use your pliers. Okay. And like I said, it's obviously a little bit easier with now. I never know what I want to be doing, so I don't want to totally cut that off yet, because I might use it for something. I don't know what yet. Okay. So we see what we did there. We We wire wrap that baby. And now I'm going to, this is the time, like, you can make adjustments. So if you want this to be bigger, wider, however, you know, you want it, you can make some adjustments to the side. You can, get this out of the way, and shape it to however you'd like. Okay, we're going to go, let's go. I guess I was imagining my fatter side over here. Okay, and then I'm going to, this side is coming up, so I'm going to just stand this up right here, and that'll kind of lock what we've got going in place. And this is where, like I said, I might take this and, well, you know, we could conceivably, you know, use this in a variety of ways. So I'm going to leave it there for right now as we work here. All right, this is where you could hammer it to kind of harden things into place. But the 16 gauge is as sturdy as I think I'm going to need it. And making, this is a free-form way to make a heart, okay? Like I said, we could kind of swirl this. We could attach it here and put some, you know, beads on here. I haven't decided yet. I'm kind of thinking a little swirl right here. Let's go. Well, let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and do it. All right, so I think this is a little bit longer than I need for the swirl that I want to do. Using 16 gauge wire, definitely recommend using memory. I'm using what we call memory wire cutter, so kind of real heavy duty one, so you don't, you'll really nick your nice little cutters if you use your other ones, so it'll wear a little bit less. Okay, now let's make a swirl, and then maybe decorate this thing and see how we want to embellish it. So it's pulling out the tiny beads here. And this kind of covers a little bit of what's right here, if you want it to. Okay, so there is. Okay, and I feel this moving here, so I'm gonna tighten this loop a little bit if I can. Just to make it a little bit more snug, and then when we kind of wire it down, it'll help too. All right, so in this case, I had the idea that well, if we unrolled it a little bit, you can add a little dangle from this piece at any point in time. Okay, and you could open it up. But for now, we're gonna just leave it. All right, now let's grab some teeny tiny wire. Let's see, let me grab a little piece. So we're looking at, you know, maybe 26 gauge. Let me see what I have sitting around here. All right, I have this wild spool left over. Here, I have some 26 gauge wire. You could use 24. Let me see if I have 24. I feel like I was kind of low on 24. Let's see. But we could also use a different color. Maybe 24. If I have it. Let's see. Since I'm doing silver, let's see if I have 24 gauge silver. I might not have it close by anyway. think 24, so we don't have to wrap quite as many times here. 26. I have a lot of 26. I like to use 26 a lot. Well, probably 24 a lot too. All right. Well, let's try it in copper. All right, since we're doing a heart, this is kind of rosy color. Okay. And we can always add more, but I'm gonna take a, let's see, measure out. Maybe I'm gonna do 2.5 or about a yard, right? I'm just gonna, because this you end up using quite a bit more than you think oftentimes. So I'm going to do a yard of 24 gauge. So I'm excited. I'm not going to be doing a Friday Night Live sale this week. I've got a little family ski trip happening, so we're going to I'm going to take the Friday off, and Jonah has a 4-day weekend this weekend, so we thought we'd take advantage and do our little ski trip. We might cover that. All right. So we're gonna I'm gonna start spooling a little bit here, and doing kind of an attachment. Oops, got caught in here. This is where I gotta kind of see how I'm doing in and out of screen, but let's like to do kind of a 3-wrap beginning up. I guess, are we a little far away here? So we can see I'm just kind of wrapping to the wire. To kind of get it cinched in there. Okay, and then that'll kind of get tucked in here once we kind of get going here. All right, let's see. I'm going to see what kind of beads I have around here, and string a few of them, and kind of be very random. Okay, so I've just got, these are little crystals, hematite beads, you know, from previous projects. I've got some little pearls. These are a lot of beads you can find right on Beadoria, or maybe some of your leftovers. So we're just going to string in a random order some beads of choice. And I think I want, you know, we want to throw in some pink in there. See, I think these crystals, I don't know, these might be a little big, I don't know. This is when you have a hard time saying, oh, I don't know how to be random. Okay, just pick a bead. We're going to see how this looks. I'm going to put a bunch of different kind of colors and styles of beads right now, because they're not necessarily going to sit next to each other or, you know, be right up on each other like you're stringing them. They're going to get wrapped around the wire here, so we can see how that ends up looking here. Okay. What just happened here? No. Okay, so it's like this kind of idea here. And like I said, we're kind of free-forming here. All right, and I just put a few beads because we're going to have to be swirling these beads in and out. So I don't want really too many beads, otherwise you'll get yourself crazy. Okay, because we're going to kind of just leave a bead there behind. as we kind of wrap. So we'll leave one bead here. You could do one bead at a time. We're gonna so I think I'm going to do like a little section. And then we're going to add some like extra on top. So it's like every one we're putting a few in there. And your wire will be a little crazy because you have 3 feet of it. Okay, just try to keep the beads on there. And the gentler you are with the wire, the better. And we're going to freeform. Good way to use your like little leftovers, and I like that you can always just like keep adding onto this here. So I added maybe like, I don't know, 10 beads on here. And it's okay if your like wire gets crinkly. You know, we're just gonna kind of be wrapping this so that the beads go around. Okay. This could be like part 1. Okay. So that's why I just try not to worry too much. You know, we just cut, oh, I'm sorry, I'm out of frame here. Worry too much right now about the shape of the heart, right? Because we have at least the base of the heart, and then it's going to be kind of filled in. So you could, I'm going to kind of push it up if you want to make it a little fatter. I'm already liking the way that this is looking. And it's okay if some of your wire pulls around while your bead does. Where are we going skiing? We went to why am I blanking on the name right now? The same place that we had gone to last year. It's in West Virginia. I'm gonna think of it. It's not snowshoe. All right, this is kind of what we're looking at. I know it looks maybe a little crazy right now, but I think it'll look better as we fill it up. Okay, so now we just keep adding beads and keep on wrapping. And this is why I wanted a lot of wire, just because it's going to take a lot of wrapping. So now I'm going to add some more beads to the mix here. And it can be any assortment, all different sizes, all different shapes. Didn't matter. I just took my bead soup. You know, I just kind of put it in colors that I like. We always know we're going to probably add a pearl in there. And add maybe another like 10 beads here. All right, so we have this here. Let's maybe do a little clear crystal bead. And I'm using all beads that are maybe 1-2 millimeter in size. So you can break out what you have. Sometimes it can be like little beads that they put in between other beads when you get other strands, and I save all those type of beads. These are kind of strands when I cut up for some other projects with you guys. Let's see, there was one. Oh, there's a few more of those little pinkies. One of those pinky crystals. I think we'll put get another pearl on here. Because we can just keep on adding to this. Or just close your eyes and add a bead. Does anybody have a hard time doing that? Alright, let's see, maybe I'll put in a bright pink bead now. Get all the colors in of pink. Okay, so that's what I have right here. Alright, we're gonna wire wrap a little bit of it. And not letting it, right now I'm not letting so you'll see I'm letting the wire show and then trying to push it down the wire a little bit. It's okay if you have a whole wrap with wire, that's okay. I may go back through them all, and maybe I can back up the camera. Sorry, guys. Just trying to stay still and hold all the things and talk and it's like chewing gum and I'm just kind of wedging these into place where it kind of feels like it tucks in onto the strand nicely. And like I said, we can always keep adding. Right now we're just kind of doing a little base of just some fun beads, kind of adding a little embellishment to this heart. And you know, you don't have to do it on the whole thing, but I think it kind of gives it some added interest, you know. Oh, Karen, I'm so happy you love the bracelet. I was actually just looking at those earrings. I love the earrings we made too. That's such a pretty bead, you know. Thanks for continuing to come back and support and being here. And like I said, we can make this thicker. You know, right now we're kind of doing a base, and then, I don't know, we can, you know, go around again. So, I don't know, are we liking where this is going? We've used quite a few beads, but I think that's really pretty looking. And of course you could use bigger beads too. You know, so maybe over here we could use some bigger beads, see what that looks like. Right now I kind of like all the tiny beads. But I think we can continue to make it more full by even a second pass. We're going to see how that looks. More beads, add more beads. All right, we're going to string some more. yeah, that ended up turning to be a good TGBE project. I'm using whatever is here right now. So I'm just stringing small beads, whatever order, whatever I run into. Here's a pearl. Nope, it said pearl doesn't want to go on right now. Little hematite bead, little crystal. Now I'll try the pearl. Maybe it'll want to go now. Yep, it says okay, I'll go. I'll go. And how about a little silver hematite bead? Oop. These little buggers are small. Small but mighty. So obviously if you use bigger beads, it will make it bigger, but I kind of like building it up full of tinies to make it look bigger, right? It's like that seems like a really big bead if we put that there. I don't think I'm ready to do that yet. Let's see. Where was those light pink ones? Do I have a few more that I had a random little tray of Swarovskis. And again, I'm not really minding the shape. I have rounds, I have little faceted beads, I have ones that look like little triangles, like these ones. I have gold, I have silver, I've got crystals and blue and pink and clear. All right, here's another little section. This is like doing things in real time. You know, this is why when they say, "Wow, it's handmade," it takes some time. You know, one thing to come up with a design, another to like, you know, do the design, right? So, I was planning something maybe for the summertime, but I think I can, what do you guys think about going to like a warehouse with me and shopping a warehouse with me? And, you'll have like a little bit of everything. I think it'll have crystals. Might even have some Swarovski crystals and check glass. Might be working out a little excursion to bring you guys to. And do a Friday night live or a live sale on the road. And I keep squishing this, so I wrap it and then I kind of squish it. I liking it to be rather as full as I can. Like I say, I'm just kind of pushing until the beads kind of feel like they're, kind of, you know, feeling like they're in a space that they want to be in. You know, and every once in a while I'm kind of wrapping upward even, because I don't mind, you know, like a little added, you know, section there of wire. And seeing how that looks. That's what the kind of twisting the things around, kind of getting them set into place. And like, look how pretty that looks, guys. I'm liking that. Can we just like hit the hearts? Like, are we kind of liking this? Like, sometimes when you kind of first get started, you're like, yeah, I don't know, but that's gonna be looking good. It's gonna be looking good, guys. I like that. Let's keep going. All right, time to add some more beads. Like I said, kind of just closing our eyes and adding some beads here. And these are the little shell pearls that we carry. I like a lot of the little beads. Look, the hematite, the crystals, the and so of course your frame could be really any shape, okay? And we chose a heart in this case since it was you know, Valentine's Day. So I was thinking heart, so. But you know, we have done a heart with you know, wire weave style. We did one like this. You know, or if you have crystal hearts, we were practicing working the bail, because oftentimes, you know, those front to back holes can be challenging. And then we did one with like a little lava. So if you have a heart-shaped bead, you know, you can wire something that looks like this too. So some different, some blasts from the past hearts that we've done. So, I don't know how this slightly later time is working. I think Wednesdays this time is going to be better, because I pick up Jonah from school, and it happens right during our you know, our normal Bead with Me time. And so, I'm kind of thinking that, I'm going to need some more like pink beads here. Oh, I still have quite a few of these. Let's put them over here. Dig them out. They're little, so they like kind of shake to the bottom. Let's see. All right. Here's all those little pink ones that I like. And this one, I like these pinks. I'm going to throw those over here. But I also like those clears in this little batch. But at least pull over the pinks. So it's like making a new mix. I could pull... Could always pull some more strands here of some other good like little colors. Maybe we need to add some of that here. Since we've got a lot around of ways to go, let's add a little bit more pink to our mix here. It's tiny but mighty. Where are my finger cutters? I don't know where they are. This is what I... Alright, we'll add some of those to the mix. Ooh. Those are going to be nice in there to add. In fact, I'm going to start adding them right now. Added one. Like these semi-silver and clear beads. Those are good. Neutral, add the sparkle. We are working on, hey Susan, Hey, Margaret. Mary Margaret. Ooh, coming in from Minnesota. Freaking cold as anything. All right, this is what we're working on. We made a wire-framed heart, okay, out of 16 gauge wire, and then we're free-forming some wire wrap beads around here and seeing if we like that. So right now we're stringing on some more beads. Sorry, hard to keep all the wire pieces in screen for you. So we are trying to randomly add beads. And we're kind of doing a little bit at a time because you got to wrap the beads around the wire, and that can get a little tricky when you have a long length of beads. But you can certainly test your skills. For me, I'm already trying to stay in screen, you know. Just catching a bit of your wrapping, Jules. Yeah. Oh, nice. All right, so I took another little section. All right, and then, because I'm holding this so that when I wrap, okay, because all your beads are going to go sliding, okay, so I'm kind of just keeping things close here, and I keep you might go a little wider, just like when we're wrapping, and then you can push it a little bit more together, okay. So that's, so we got this little portion happening right now. So I kind of get the beads through here and hold them and then pull the rest of that wire through. That's what I find is the easiest. And then we're going to just keep on pushing. So see how I kind of push the wire to here, and then I'm going to pull this wire up and through the rest here, so I'm not, I don't know, putting as much pressure on every bead as we're going here. And like I said, it's also okay to just do a wrap of just wire if you want, or adding, or wire wrapping up on top of each other too. And if a place doesn't look as full as you want it, we can make even a second pass here a little bit later. But for now, we're just going to kind of push one bead at a time until it kind of feels like it nestles into a spot. So when people say you can't see what we're doing, I'm just feeling the beads. I'm just feeling the beads. Because this is something you can really add to very easily in case, the wire breaks or you want it to be more full, whatever the case may be. So like I want a bead there. It looks like looks naked right there. You need a lampwork bead, huh? Do you need some more lampwork beads? Did we not have enough? Do I need to bring that around the next time? You like these ones right here? I didn't have any more. I only had the ones I had used in the... Well, I guess I have these earrings. Are you going to try to buy these earrings, Deb? One of the teardrops was bigger than the other, though. When I didn't realize that when I wrapped them. So technically, they're not an exact match. But I do have an exact one. Feeling like that's... I feel like that's a lot of wire showing right there. So how can I fill that space? Oh, that looks better. Ooh, this is looking so pretty. Now I kind of feel like we should do this all the way around, but you guys are getting the idea, right? Isn't that so pretty? So that's why I don't care if like this has, you know, we're not looking for a perfect, you know, smooth base, right? And it doesn't matter. You can still technically, you know, shape your heart a little bit. Like I said, we can make it still even more full, you know, because you can see there's wire. Hold on one second. Okay. Sorry, husband was texting. Okay. Hubby's saying if you should bring home some food. Okay. Ooh, but I'm really loving how this is turning out. Okay, we add a little bit more. You know, we could stretch it out, but I really like it. Sorry, I think I have the... Sorry if that was really loud in your ears, guys. Okay, where is this wire end? Oh, I'm way up here. I think I want to add a bead right there anyway. All right, let's string a few, just a few more to end this kind of ending, and then I'm just going to continue going up to the other side. I think the whole thing will be pretty. I think it would be pretty all the way around. But I feel like there's so many different things we could do here. But we're gonna finish this idea right here first. Okay. That's what free-forming I sometimes feel does for you, right? Where it gets your brain going, saying, "Oh, that's a great idea. I'm gonna try this." Or, you know, I did this one I want to add some teardrops to, but I made a cloud here. How pretty is that? And then, then I wanted to add some little raindrops coming out from this little cloud here. You know, so again, you can make different shapes. If you can think it, you can do it. So if you don't have the part or the component, sometimes I say make it. Try to make it. Get you to be creative, right? The necessity is the mother of all invention. Isn't that what they say? Isn't it something like that? Right. I'm feeling like we're getting really good, I can put on like maybe a good portion of beads and not lose a bunch of tiny ones everywhere. Oh, we hadn't put a blue one in there in a while. I have a hard time putting two of the same bead next to each other. Though I am using 24 gauge actually. I was going to use 26, but I wanted a little bit more of the wire to be okay to be, when it's exposed, to be really showing. The thinner I think would have disappeared, which I kind of wanted the wire to be a little bit of the element in there, so. All right, we're kind of at this tip, so now we're going to work our way. I'm sorry, I got to see which way is a better way for me to grip this. Now that we're switching sides here. Because I can kind of go in, so I can go wrapping around the outside here. So far, 3 yards was a really good guess. I'm really glad we did 3 yards of the, I did, okay, so if you guys were just hopping on, this is 16 gauge. I used I cut 1.5 feet of 16 gauge, and then I used 3 yards of 24 gauge. And you know, I chose to use a silver base and used a copper wire because, again, that was a necessity because that's what I had. And but at the same time, I'm really glad that we used the copper because it's kind of pink, you know. So now we're going to be working our way up this other side. And as you kind of get the rhythm, just like anything, I feel like it will get easier. And like I say, we may end up making a second pass where you don't need as many beads, where you can kind of just put in beads where you might feel like it's looking a little light. So we're going to show maybe how to do that here in just a second, once we get ourselves around. So now I'm going to try to move a little bit faster. But you can't rush things, you know. That's part of why we do this, is because it's therapeutic for us, right? And I think each time you do something, right, manipulating and working with wire, you kind of find the different ways, things that work for you, like, you know, like where you want to hold the leverage to keep, you know, a bead in place or whatever. So I pull the beads through, and then, so that's my trick, is kind of holding that and then pulling the rest of the wire through, kind of like it's a thread, and then continue our wrapping job. Come back around, pull that wire, and again, I'm not too worried because we can always make a second pass here if we feel like there's some holes, as well as still adding wire as a little accent embellishment, as not being a bad thing to see the wire or the string, you know. So yes, I'm using 26 gauge wire, Deb. Okay, looking good, guys, looking good. I'm liking it. And again, you can see sometimes the back won't be as full, so I think that second pass we can kind of be, you know, adding more to that mix. Right now, it's kind of pushing things to the front. You know, we can get a little crazy on ourselves doing this, right? Saying, oh, you know, I didn't put these pink ones all evenly, you know, throughout. But, you know, that's part of the organicness, okay? Don't be hard on yourself. All right, we're going to string another portion here. See what we like. All right, and that pop. So here's our little bead mix, and I'm using all kind of 1 to, I would say 1, 2, and 3 millimeter in different sizes and shapes and colors. And being very random, trying not to think too hard. Sometimes less thinking, more doing. I find myself saying that a lot because my husband is like, he's a muller. he'll think about things forever. I'm high speed, full speed ahead, you know? Like, let's go. Let's try it. Let's, you know, we'll figure it out as we're going. So I guess that's probably like free-forming jewelry. Like, you guys maybe might be a little bit more calculated. Maybe you'll string the same set of beads in the same order all the way throughout. Can you put a heart in the chat if that's you? Nothing wrong with that. What kind of personality would you be? Let me do a blue one now. All right, here's a little section. Okay, and we're gonna just keep on wrapping. Coming round. And heck, I think we might be able to do this all in one wire, even our second pass. We're gonna see. Okay. Hey, Janelda. You liking where this is headed? Or where this went? You know, it's not like a sped up video either. And then we'll take this video and then we'll have to speed it up. And say, this is how we do a little gemstone heart. Or a little wire wrapped heart. So now I'm twisting back before I cinch anything. So we're trying to make this a little bit more full. I'm pushing it down and twisting it around. So it looks like we're getting closer to being done, but at the same time we can squeeze this down pretty good because we kind of want to keep things full, right? Front and back. But again, we can still fill in the holes if we should need to. Here. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Keep on pulling. How sweet is this coming out? I'm liking it. I think we can do one more really good pass here, and then I think we can get it cinched around. We still got we got a little bit more wire going till the wire ends. But I like where this went. I'll take a picture of it, put a little post up for you, and I am trying to upload things onto YouTube for you. for you guys as well. So make sure you guys are subscribed over there. At some point I'll try to go, I was going to try to go live over there and see how that works exactly. But I haven't quite done that yet. I have a little starfish in here. Could probably add a little star in there, so like little tiny charms. Bead. Speed beading. Even random takes concentration. Okay, let's see. Do-do-do. I like the little white pearls. There's little accents in there. All right, we got another good look. Oh, you're right. I am using 24. Did I say 26? I'm sorry. I had 26 gauge wire, but we ended up using 24 gauge wire because I wanted to use it a little bit as an element so that you could see the wire, and that would be okay. Sorry if I misspoke there. Like I said, trying to chew gum and talk at the same time. Glad somebody's paying attention. All right, let's see. We can wrap up this little section here. Oh, Janelda, I'm so excited for your birthday. You get all the love for Valentine's Day, for your birthday. And you get to be traveling. I love that you do that. So if you're not part of our Star Special Stash group, guys, you can join us for our What's on Your Wrist Wednesday. You can share your wear, give our community a little bit of your creativity. Help inspire us to get our beads out, see what you guys are making or what you're wearing, either or both. It always just brightens the feed when I see whatever it is you guys are working on. All right, it needs some more beads. Need more beads! Oh my gosh, this is turning out very pretty. Look how pretty that looks. Oh, it looks like I just knocked a bunch of my beads over. Those are the ones I'll string first. This is good. You end up using quite a few more beads than you might have thought. You have to think we've wrapped 3 yards of wire. I mean, a yard of wire, 3 feet of wire around this little sweetheart. And this is all that we have left. That's it. Almost there. I like all these little shapes. A little bit of color. So those hematite beads that I always tell you guys are like no-brainers. How big do I think the heart is in inches? I can put a measuring piece down here. I'll measure it in just a second here. Let's see. Came out to be about 2 inches. But it's freeform, so of course you could make this as big as you want it, you know. You're back, Stacy. Yep, we're still wrapping our beads. See, this is how we get lost in the beads. This is what happens. I just have, I'm all caught up here. There we go. So this is where I'm doing a little placement of beads here. Like I want that one to sit right there. So I'm going to hold that in place to keep that looking up full. Fill in that little hole. So as I see the little space that I wanted in, I'm kind of holding the bead there. And that's what I mean by kind of nestling it in where it feels comfortable. And again, I want to squish it down. Looks like we have too many beads, but we never have too many beads, right? So I think we could fit just another bead, right? You can use seed beads in here, anything in that kind of in this tiny size. And I think the all the different shapes make a bigger difference. So I had some triangular shapes, rondelle shapes, bicone shapes, cube shape, a really rounded shape. I really made no differentiation. If it was in that kind of small size, I was open to using it, you know. All right, I think, look at that. You would have thought I knew what I was going to be doing right before the show. All right, here, I'm trying to get this now wrapped. What happened here? Okay, and now I'm going to kind of cinch this last piece. Now this is where I mean by this can be freeform. So we have this piece, And we now just want to kind of weave it. I'm just going to go weaving around to kind of finish off and cinch whatever it is in place, and it doesn't even matter, right? You know, when we first started, we were like, I don't know how I feel about this yet, right? Okay, so this is what I mean by kind of taking the wire. I'm gonna try to tuck it in some place here, because we don't really want it to get caught on anything. So we're going to try to make it disappear in there. Okay. And again, so we can obviously I'm sorry if I bumped this. Okay, so we can add more. So we can take another piece of wire, we can just start wrapping, and then add a bead wherever we see it fit, where we say, oh, you know, it's not looking like as full as I want it, but you know what? I like it just the way she is. Can we see some hearts? Are you guys liking it the way she is? All right, so now, of course, you know, this is just the start, right? Like now we can keep getting, you know, more fun, right? So we could where'd it go? Well, I can't find the heart that I was looking for. Okay, so we remember we did our heart from the last time right here. Okay, so a heart could be added into the heart. Okay, so you can dangle anything inside of there. You could even dangle something off of course, the bottom here. Let's like, you know, you could add a little tassel-y doodad like right down here, like this. All right, are we seeing the potential of where this can go? So all of these like different projects that we oftentimes are doing, right? We're saying, oh, no, maybe you just want to do one, right? We talked about wire wrapping one of these. You could wire wrap and make a little tassel of things, right? You could, you know, get crazier, bigger. You could add something like this on the bottom, or you could just add just a little drop on the bottom. Okay. Oh, here was the heart. So you can add a little heart charm. Are we liking how that turned out? Of course, even if it's not a heart shape, it can be pretty with any of our crystals, right? So whatever it might be. Remember we had that big red heart? I kind of like it, of course, with a heart shape, but you know, maybe you got too hearted out. Now, you know, now the bail you can make in a simple version. You can make it more interesting. You know, so we could have made the spiral and added a little swirl on this, and we can end it very similar to the way we do this. Okay. Yummy. Yummy, guys. Yeah. That was so pretty. Okay, let's see it from, okay, hold on. This is like, what happened to my, let's see it in, okay, I told you it was about two inches. So look how that would look on my necklace. You could add it right onto there. Of course, you could, you know, make this, and if you want it to hang sideways, you could put a big ring in it and make it hang a little sideways if you want. So like a lot of different ways. So that's how it looks from afar. Isn't that pretty? So you could also make the whole idea a little bit smaller, okay? And, you know, do something for your earrings in the same way. Okay? Happy Wednesday! That was a really fun project. I feel like, you know, this was just, I like kind of building our elements, you know, and it turns out different every single time. So, you know, you get different color sets, you're going to get a slightly different shaped heart. You know, we started off with like kind of it being one, I thought was going to be a little bit bigger than the other, but like now that we've got it done, kind of looks about the same, doesn't it? Looks about the same. You totally thought I was making an earring, right? When we're like zoomed up close, that just showed. But you know what? It could be an earring. This is light enough to totally be an earring. You know, so if you're like one of those big hoop girls, right? Who's some of those big, you guys, do you guys like my new shirt? You know, I'm in South Carolina. I feel like, you know, kind of a little bit in Dolly World, and I got my new top, and it's so cute. It's so cute. And I feel like this goes perfect with that outfit. And so adding a bail and then making this a little pendant so I can just pop it right onto there. All right, happy Wednesday, and then here's what's on my wrist here today. I'm wearing some cubes, crystal cubes, and some pearls here today, and so I want to see a little bit of what you guys are making too. So make sure you guys are part of our Star Special Stash group. Let me see if I can put that link up there for you, and then so join on over there and share your wear. That's where you can put a picture up and share with our community with the same addiction. And then if you liked a lot of the things that I was playing with here today, of course, you can hop over to beadoria.com and see all the fun things that we're always putting onto the site. And you know, we only have like thousands of items, and I know sometimes it's hard to, you know, narrow things down, but today we did all the itty bitties. In fact, I think I have a whole category on there that is just called itty bitties, okay? But the tiny hematites, you can also sort the site by size, so you can kind of see how many hundreds of 1, 2, 3 millimeter size beads we have. Quite a few. So you guys can hop on over there and check it out. All right. Fantastic Wednesday. Thanks so much for joining me and hanging out here with me today. I'm going to Friday Night Live. We'll have to wait until next week. I'm going to be taking a little bit of a ski vacation, so I'm going to be taking the next a few days off. But I've been busy getting your orders packed. Last Friday Night Live was getting that pulled so that we can get those invoiced to you. So make sure you guys are checking your inboxes. Thank you to all those that have paid. We have tried to get those already shipped out to you so that they are on their way. And we've got always more treasures coming. All right, fantastic. Oh, Mel, did you just miss me? I was on for like an hour. We just made, look, a sweet little embellished wire heart. That was super, super fun. So you can catch the replay. But at least you got to catch me for about 2 seconds live. But we'll be taking the live sale off this Friday, but we've got treasures coming out and still working behind the scenes. If you guys can make sure you guys like this post, share this post, do all the things that help the algorithms for whatever they're doing these days here on Facebook. And make sure you guys are getting your notifications, because you never know when I'm going to be popping on. You know, we're trying to work out a new schedule, seeing what the balance is. I'm kind of thinking on Wednesdays at 5 o'clock. I think Wednesdays at 5 is going to be a better time for me. So, always a fun time. Have a great rest of your day. Have a fantastic weekend. I'll be popping up some pictures and some inspirations here even while I'm gone. And then we'll see you guys here next week, okay? Fantastic. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.